This is the motto of the show Hour of the Truth. Rome never changes. They used to call us heretics and sent the Inquisition to kill us. Today they call us terrorists and send on their crusades. Times and methods may have changed, the goal still stays the same. Extirpate the remnant of the true Word of God, Bible-believing people who uphold the truths of Jesus Christ's name.
From 1203 to 1805, 50 million Christians died, suffering at the hands of Rome, 'cause they believed in Christ alone. They died through Europe, especially Spain, where they saw all but Christ as vain. He suffered by his death for men, to save them from their awful sin. 600 years of martyred saints that history cannot erase. With iron heel and iron hand, the Roman popes rule the land. Those ignorant of history may be swept into apostasy. We won't be lulled by Rome's sweet lie, with 50 million reasons why. Salvation is by faith alone, in Christ alone, by grace alone. A sovereign God give faith to man. Salvation's in the Maker's hand. This gospel offends Rome today. They offer up another way, a counterfeit, a compromise. Beware the ancient papal lie, with such a cloud of witnesses who by grace died in their Lord. Recall their memory to say, by the same faith we live today.
Hello and welcome everybody to a new video from Jörg, Joggler66, Hour of the Truth. Today we have Tuesday, the 13th of November 2018. Actually Wednesday, because it's this Tuesday night and the day starts with a night, as we know as Christians. But still the 13th, and if I say Wednesday evening, you think I'm 24 hours ahead of myself. Anyway, I've come to the table to produce number 62 of the series Hour of the Truth, which has been quite some time since I did the last broadcast. But it's not that Hour of the Truth has been some time that I have been doing nothing. I do a lot of things, and you see that. Even the English-speaking people see that, but the point is that since a few months at least, if not even a few years, there has been a change on the viewers on my channel. And even though I come from Belgium and I started out as an English channel, English-speaking channel, making only English-spoken videos, I seem to have lost a lot of my English-speaking audience. Because I upload book readings like Code Word Babylon from P.D. Stewart that I did together with Brett Norman. I'm uploading the videos book reading of Secret History of the Jesuits from Edmond Paris in English after I did that in German, and I hardly get any views anymore. The videos from Tom Fress on my YouTube channel, Inquisition Update, don't get any views anymore. I don't know what's going on. I started out as an English-speaking channel, and all of a sudden I lose a lot of my audience. Anyway, if even one person watches, that actually is more than enough. And today I wanted to do a video that I have been quote-unquote pregnant with for quite some time. I wanted to do this video together with Brett Norman and with Tom Fress, but it is impossible to get those three agendas, mine and theirs, under one how do you say that, under one hat, we say in Germany. That's probably a wrong expression in English, but you know, that we cannot just adjust all our three agendas to make this together. So I do this now for myself, and this video is called The Devil's Playground, Georgetown University. It is very important that we understand the workings and the doings of the Jesuit order. That's why I do so many videos on this, and that's why I have done so many videos on that subject. Now today will be quite a little entertaining video, because I have a few videos that I'm going to play in this video, but I'm just going to start reading a little bit from a booklet that I've been working on for, or that I've been reading in Hour of the Truth already some years ago. I will just take a little bit out of this and read this to you, and then also play a few movies that you have an understanding what Georgetown University stands for. It is the foremost Jesuit university in the United States of America, where you have 28 different seminaries, quote-unquote colleges, universities, that are led by the Jesuits in the United States of America today. And it all started with Georgetown University. And we will go a little bit back into the history, but first and for all, I want to tell you a little bit of the history here, and then I'm going to play a little video. And after that video, we're going to read a little bit more about the foundation of Jesuit University, so that you understand the spirit that is behind it, because that's the point that is most important. I'm going to tell you now about the Babylonian connection to Georgetown University. Now, when we are talking about Georgetown University, then it's maybe interesting to put a picture in here, and I'm just going to look up a picture of Georgetown, and then we can put this video, then we can put this picture here while I'm reading. I think this is a quite interesting one. The problem is that it is not that big. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, and there you can look at it. Georgetown University, the Babylonian connection to Georgetown University, and the Babylonian connection to 1776. Now, when we know who represents Mystery Babylon, which of course is the Roman Catholic Church, we understand the significance of the founding of the Georgetown University by Jesuit John Carroll in 1789. In 2015, and also today in 2018, there are 28 Jesuit universities and 50 Jesuit high schools in America, and their numbers are growing. Now we know why Jesuit Francis is coming to speak, or came to speak, I have to speak in the past now because it happened, to a joint session of Congress on September 24th, 2015. When this was written, that was still in the future. A joint session of Jesuits, we can rather say. Now, Jesuit John Carroll was an intimate of Washington. He wrote a prayer at the time of Washington's inauguration, asking God's blessing on the President, Congress, and government of the United States. A prayer that's still very much in use today. Out of gratitude for John Carroll's support during the War of Independence, Washington gave a modified version of the seal of the United States to the institution that is now Georgetown University, and that seal is in use. Or, it could be said, John Carroll gave the seal to George Washington. The two seals are similar, and the likeness of them is very self-evident. Now you see the seal of Georgetown already here in this picture, but I prepared another picture. I'm going to show it to you right away. This is Georgetown University seal. You see the eagle, you see the stars, the pentagram stars, you see the world in the claws of the eagle, you see the cross. I'm not going to explain every little symbol on that seal, I'm just showing you that seal. That's Georgetown University, and then you have the seal of the United States of America. The arrows, the leaves of the laurels, the wings, et pluribus unum, out of many one. Yeah, that's the seal of the United States of America, and that's the seal of Georgetown. Do you see the resemblance between those two? Not so far-fetched, is it? And therefore we are going to study a little bit about Jesuit Georgetown University today. Okay? Now, we want to start with a movie, I told you. We want to start with a video. And the video that I'm going to start with is this. And whenever I have to say something, I just pause it and will interrupt, and otherwise we will just have a look right now.
Subject of counterinsurgency, and particularly counterinsurgency in Iraq. We are pleased at Georgetown School of Foreign Service and our Center for Peace and Security Studies to be joining with the Navy Center for Asymmetric Warfare to sponsor this morning's sessions. My name is Bob Gallucci. I'm the Dean of the School of Foreign Service. And we have as a first panel generally on the topic of counterinsurgency. Three panelists, their bios are in front of you, but I would be shocked and depressed if you didn't know who they were without me introducing them. Speaking second, Colonel T.X. Hames. His bio is there as well, 30 years in the Marine Corps, as it says, serving at all levels in the operating forces.
External actors have to be eliminated. These guys who are coming in are the most dangerous of all because they're true believers. And true believers, whether they're Muslim, they're Christian, or they're Marine, are dangerous people because there is no other way other than their way. And you've got to eliminate them.
This especially means fundamentalist believers. If you are a Bible fundamentalist, this was just concerning you. Need to be eliminated. You heard right. Listen again.
You've got to eliminate them.
So just pausing. Now if you take a look at a US Homeland Security document from 2009 dealing with extremism, you will see the following on page 4. The highlighted little stroke here reads, anti-government conspiracy theories and quote-unquote end-time prophecies could motivate extremist individuals and groups to stockpile food, ammunition and weapons. That's what it reads. You can go to endtimesprophecy.org, but I don't advise it because they are futurist.
Hi, I'm Randy Robinson. This is Life Today TV. I'm here with someone who's kind of been making some waves lately. Bishop Tony Palmer is with the Episcopal Church and the Anglican Church. He's actually based in England, but he's made some bit of a name for himself by speaking with an old friend of his who is now the Pope. So, Tony, thank you for sitting down with me.
Okay.
I'm going to say this because I can already hear it. In fact, I've already heard it. there's this whole kind of, I won't call them names. There's a group that thinks that the Catholic Church is out to get us all.
Mm-hmm.
And that any of this conversation that you're having is signs
Right.
that the Catholic Church, which is the beast in Revelation, is
Yes.
coming in to get us all. And
Yes.
how do you cope with some of the not just the crazies, but the legitimate people that are concerned about this unification means subordination
Ridiculing the Bible is what he does here, by the way, if you didn't get that.
to the Catholic Church?
Not only are people in the spotlight doing Satan's work and making a mockery of God's truth, the truth being that the Papal Church of Rome is that Antichrist first beast of Revelation 13. They are also labeling us fundamentalist Bible believers and truth seekers as crazies. So we are extremists, we are crazies, and those need to be taken care of, need to be eliminated, as the speaker in Georgetown said a few moments ago. We are truly living in the last days. We know that. The devil knows that he has a little time too. The world is uniting under false pretenses. And those of us who stand firm upon the truth of God's word will be regarded as the ones preventing peace and safety in this world. You remember what the Bible says when they say peace and security, peace and safety? Sudden destruction will come upon them. Are you ready? Well, that's so far for this video. We're going to watch a little bit more later. I just wanted to give you an impression of what Georgetown teaches. You of course have the School of Foreign Relations from Walsh that is on Georgetown University. And I'm going to read a little from that book that I have read, or booklet that I have read before. And that's here. About Patriot Jesuit John Carroll. Yeah, we have to understand that John Carroll has had 26 years of training in Jesuit schools, most and for all in St. Omer, which is over here in Flanders. In the time it was Flanders, now it is northern of France. And this patriot, American patriot, Jesuit John Carroll, we read a little bit about. The article says, as the Carrolls and Freemasonry were influencing the forming of the new American government that was brought into existence in the year 1789, precisely 13 years after the independence was declared in 1776, of course you have a Kabbalistic meaning of these 13 years, we find also a very conspicuous correlation between the launching of the American government and the founding of the American Catholic Church hierarchy. Important is that you understand that we are speaking of an American Catholic Church. We are not speaking of the Roman Catholic Church in America, that's still in the future. We are speaking of an American Catholic Church, a Catholic Church that has other priorities than the Roman Catholic Church, especially since it was founded by in the United States of America and the new founded nation, less than 2% of the population were Roman Catholics. So that's why you have had an American Catholic Church. And that is a difference from the Roman Catholic Church. And if you want to learn more on that, you have to read the book The Ark and the Dove by J. Moss Ives. Together, I guess, with Rulers of Evil from Tapasauci, that I can both very much advise you to read those books. Anyway, for in that year, 1789, Jesuit John Carroll founded and laid the cornerstone for the first Jesuit college in America at Georgetown. In what was afterwards to be the District of Columbia, and the college that George Washington's two nephews, Bushrod and Augustine, attended. And as George Washington was inaugurated the first President of the United States in 1781, so also was John Carroll elected the first Bishop of the Catholic Church in the United States that exact same year. Yeah? This happens in the same year. Did you know that? that you got the first Catholic bishop in the United States of America at the same year that the first president was inaugurated? Do you think that is quote-unquote coincidence that the shadow government starts at the same moment the real government starts? Because the bishoprics, the dioceses of the United States of America, like in every other country, are nothing else but the shadow government of that country. And as the jurisdiction of the first president of the United States was from Georgia to Canada in the north, and from the Atlantic to the Mississippi, so too was the jurisdiction of John Carroll's diocese. Now be assured, it is no coincidence that the American government, the American Roman Catholic Church hierarchy, and the Jesuit Georgetown College all mark their beginnings from the year 1789. Let me remind you, the year 1789 is the year that the French Revolution started. The French Revolution started and a new beast came up out of the earth. But on top of that, it will be shown how a business venture put into operation also in 1789, with George Washington becoming their frontman, enabled the Carrolls to have the American seat of government placed in their own front yard. Now, with a little discernment you will recognize these little coincidences as perhaps telltale marks of the grand design as the Carrolls, the Jesuits and Freemasonry played out their roles. It then should become understandable why the Jesuit Georgetown College was incorporated in the District of Columbia, seat of the new American government. And why the District of Columbia's very name is given in honor of Columbus, that great Catholic admiral who allegedly first discovered America and dedicated the New World to Catholicism and the Pope. And as we learn that Roman Catholics literally designed and built the complex for the new government, it should then begin to dawn on us who it was that masterminded the occult symbolism, the symbolisms that is flaunted in the city of Washington, D.C. You all saw probably the pentagram in the streets of D.C., right? Indeed, what our study has revealed and continues to unfold is that the evidence is overwhelming that Roman Catholicism was center stage during every phase of establishing the new American government. And that's as far as I'm going to go in this book read today. But we are going to look at a few more videos, and I can assure you it's going to be interesting. This one is the one that I very first had put aside to start with this video, the series of Georgetown University that I was planning. By the way, here the seal is again, as it is shown in the book of, I think it is from Tapasosi's Rulers of Evil. Okay? But let's go to the next video and learn who is all attending or who attended Georgetown University. Yeah? And I'm going to provide to you a link later on. Probably also we're going to have a look at that in the internet to see more of the alumni of Jesuit Georgetown University. But now let's watch this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Professor Michael Bailey, Chair of the Department of Government, Ron Klain, and Kevin Spacey.
Do you think it is a coincidence that Kevin Spacey plays the major role in House of Cards?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Dr. Victor Cha, Director of Asian Studies Program, School of Foreign Service, Dr. Robert Groves, Provost of Georgetown University, and Ambassador Susan Rice, Assistant to the President for National Security Affairs.
Well, good morning and welcome. It's a pleasure to gather with you this morning for this wonderful event, a lecture by the President of the World Bank, Dr. Jim Young Kim.
And thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. My name is Kevin Preskenis. I am a senior in the college, and I'm very proud to welcome former Speaker of the House and Republican presidential candidate Newt Gingrich to Georgetown today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Lindsay Bruinsma, an MBA candidate at the McDonough School of Business, John J. DeGioia, President of Georgetown University, Brian T. Moynihan, CEO of Bank of America, and Warren E. Buffett, Chairman of the Board and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
Lancaster, Dean of the School of Foreign Service, Georgetown University, and Secretary of State, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
And by the way, did you know that her husband, Bill Clinton, the former President of the United States of America, was educated in Georgetown University, and that his mentor was Professor Quigley, the author of the book Tragedy and Hope?
Please welcome to the stage John J. DeGioia, President of Georgetown University, and President Bill Clinton, founder Clinton Foundation and 42nd President of the United States.
Coming back home, he is. Now you see what combines all these people. Even the royalty, who some people think is so powerful, are only connected because controlled by the Jesuits and speak in the university like this.
Your Royal Highness,
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Robert Groves, Provost of Georgetown University, and Leon Panetta, the Secretary of Defense.
And you don't become the Secretary of Defense of the United States of America if you do not have any connections to the Knights of Malta or the Jesuits.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage John J. DeGioia, President of Georgetown University.
And his upcoming guests.
And Secretary John Kerry.
Enemies, rivals, no, all working together.
Thank you
with the
very
whore
much.
of Rome, that is.
Thank you very much, Hillary, for a very, very generous introduction. And thank you most of all for the remarkable work that you have done.
Revelation 17, Revelation 17, verse 2, right? And the kings of the earth
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States,
with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Here's one of the kings of the earth that committed fornication with the whore of Babylon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Everybody, please have a seat. Please have a seat. It is wonderful to be back at Georgetown.
The hoax of the world.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Georgetown. Hey. Thank you so much. Now, thank you, Georgetown.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Amu Menon, MBA student, David A. Thomas, Dean of the McDonough School of Business, John J. DeGioia, President of Georgetown University, Brian Moynihan, CEO of Bank of America, and Bono.
Jesuit trained and approved. That also works for people from Islam.
Your Excellencies, special guests, Provost O'Donnell, faculty, students, and friends, and Foreign Minister Davutoglu. I'm Carol Lancaster, Dean of the Edmund A. Walsh School of Foreign Service, here on the campus of Georgetown University.
Welcome. My name is Rob Manuel, and I'm the Dean of the School of Continuing Studies at Georgetown. Along with our partners today, Parenting Magazine Parenting Group, we welcome you this morning to the Moms Congress on Education and Learning. I want to once again welcome you to Georgetown. On behalf of Parenting and Georgetown, welcome Secretary Duncan.
Good morning. Good to see you guys. It's a real honor to be here. We had a fantastic conversation last year and really appreciate the opportunity.
It's a great pleasure and an honor for me to be here at Georgetown University, a university that I have always admired, not only for the quality of its scholarship, but also for its commitment, its long-term, fervent commitment to teaching undergraduate students. I want to join in congratulating the faculty for their promotions.
500,000 dead Iraqi children were worth it. Here you have Wolfowitz, then promoted to director of the World Bank after his work in 2001 and his involvement in 9/11. Tony Blair, English Prime Minister, speaking at Georgetown University. Don't matter the sex, don't matter the country they come from, they're all under one hood in Jesuit attire. Another actor, two actors, father and son. Kirk Douglas and his father, Michael. Kirk Douglas the father, Michael Douglas the son, I meant. Yeah, we've seen her before. Yes, Muslims are Jesuit controlled, Roman Catholic controlled. Maltese cross there in the back. Rupert Murdoch, CEO of Fox. He's a knight of St. Gregory. Another papal knighthood. English Prince Charles again. That's this movie maker. I just lost his name. You guys know him. Here again we have Bono, the singer of the U2 music group. Bill Clinton again. Here. This is a quote-unquote this is a quote-unquote Protestant pastor. I just lost his name. Rick Warren or something. I don't want to say any wrong name around this video, but you know, I know him and you know him too. And he is in Georgetown University, showing openly his allegiance to the Roman Catholic Church, to the whore in Rome. Some more interesting pictures to come, I can assure you, like this one. Ron Paul, the quote-unquote independent runner for the presidency of the United States of America at least 2 times, and one who said we have to, if not abolish, at least to screen the Federal Reserve Bank. And he has been numerous times in his life in in Rome. He has been numerous times in his life in Rome. Yeah. And here you see, of course, the signs of Freemasons in the back in Georgetown University. Freemasonry on the top is controlled by the Jesuits. And this is your president. And this is another one who wanted to become president. The Austrian Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is married to Maria Shriver, and Maria Shriver is a graduate from Georgetown University, and of course is linked in her family to the Kennedys, who are Knights of Columbus. Richard Branson. And I think that was quite an interesting video, don't you think? To see how many people and what kind of people are all linked to Jesuit Georgetown University. Now, after watching this, do you really think the Jews run anything? No, the Jews only have the power the Roman Catholic Church gives them. Therefore, watch my episode An Hour of the Truth. It's simply amazing, where I read this newsletter from Daryl Eberhard. It is the Roman Catholic Church that runs the world, as we remember from the quote from Carol Quigley, and not the one from Georgetown University, but I mean the Bishop Carol Quigley, who in 1903 in the Chicago Tribune said, "When the United States of America rule the world, the Roman Catholic Church will rule the world." But let's go directly into the next video. Why are so many rappers speaking at Jesuit Georgetown University? We just saw Bono from U2. Now have a look what this video is all about, courtesy of Eric777 YouTube channel.
YouTube, it's Eric. And I'm going to try to keep this video pretty quick. I'm just going to be commenting on something that I've noticed lately. And that is a lot of recent hip-hop icons, big popular rappers are speaking at Jesuit Georgetown University. Yeah, and that's why, and like, when I examine like the so-called like conscious rap music that's coming out, like a lot of it is like it's a fake deep rap music. They're not really telling you anything that's going on, and like it just makes sense. Like Hollywood, I'll show you. But like in terms of hip hop, like Ahmet Udegrin is the founder of Atlantic Records, which currently like Lil Uzi Vert signed to Atlantic Records. Jay-Z signed to Atlantic Records. A huge number of the current hip hop scene is signed to Atlantic Records, and Ahmet Udegrin, the founder of Atlantic Records, went to Jesuit Georgetown University. That's right. And currently, Will Tanius is currently a high-up executive at Universal Music in the music department, went to Georgetown University. I'm just going to show you this in this video. I thought this was interesting. I was just on the Hot New Hip Hop, and I came across the Georgetown University in the headlines, and that is, I'll show you that first. This is the most recent one. It was Meek Mill spoke at Georgetown University like this week. Meek Mill's a big puppet right now, because music has like no meaning to it, no message. It's all about money, drugs, bitches, etc. But look at this, Meek Mill on criminal justice reform. Look at this right here. For some reason I can't. I'm trying to click on it here. I wonder if you can get a full disclosure of what was said in the lecture. But supposedly Meek Mill said that, and again, what all these rappers are doing, and I've noticed, is that they're pushing, that they're using these rappers to push a race war, and it's right in harmony with Black Lives Matter. You can see how all the Jesuit universities support Black Lives Matter openly, like all 28 of them. Santa Clara, Georgetown, Fordham, Rockhurst, University of San Francisco, you name it. Okay, but like Meek Mill spoke on criminal justice reform, and he was saying how the American justice system favors rich white people, again, to create racial division, going all the way back to San Francisco, and the Jesuit Fortress of San Francisco, and the Black Lives Matter movement, and or not Black Lives Matter, the Black Panthers movement in the 60s, with the Jesuit Eugene Boyle out of San Francisco was coordinating this. But in the Sacred Heart Covenant Church in San Francisco, that's where the Black Panthers were headquartered, in a Catholic church. And but the Jesuits, on the lead of the Jesuits, the young blacks were shown pictures of white police officers depicted as pigs, and they were told that all of their problems were due to white people. R.W. Thompson even sources this in his book. The source for this is The Footprints of the Jesuits. He talks about how the Jesuits and their Paraguayan reductions, to get the Indians into submission to them, would told the local Guaranian Paraguayans that the white Spaniards and the white Portuguese were possessed by devils, and that they were out to kill them, they were out to rape their families, etc. But I just think this is just look at the Instagram accounts of some of these rappers I'm showing this video. You see, like, they're complete puppets. But apparently, like, I just saw this because I saw Meek Mill. I was reading a headline. Meek Mill says he's going to drop his new album. He announced this at Georgetown University while he was doing a criminal justice reform. See if I can get a photo of this. Yeah, there he is right there at Georgetown. That's funny. Actually, the next rapper I found at Georgetown here is Talib Kweli, is another fake so-called deep rapper. And if you look at Talib Kweli, I've actually commented on this guy's Instagram account because it's so obvious how much race baiting the guy is doing. Like, just trying to get whites and blacks divided against each other. You know, the Jesuits' favorite maxim is divide and conquer. That is their favorite maxim. You see here, Talib Kweli, this guy right here is a Georgetown University professor, Michael Eric Dyson. He's I saw this guy saying that, like, Lil Wayne was like a hero for the black community, this Jesuit trained professor on live TV with a straight face.
Another maxim, just to interrupt Eric here for a second, is instead of divide and conquer, is the end justifies the means. Never forget that. If the goal is admirable, every means to reach that goal are permitted. Even murder, even rape. All these abominable things the Bible speaks of. Every means, every action is allowed when the goal, the end goal, is something desirable in the eyes of the Roman Catholic Church. The end justifies the means, and therefore they use divide and conquer.
Yeah, this is him here. This guy's a big puppet. He goes on all like the mainstream media channels. He goes on ESPN quite a bit, which is owned by Disney and Hearst Communications. There was a Jesuit priest, Leo O'Donovan, that was on the board of directors. May still even be on the board of directors at Disney. Yeah, this is Michael Eric Dyson. So Michael Eric Dyson had a discussion of religion and hip-hop with a panel of artists. The intersections of religion and hip-hop with Talib Kweli earlier this month. Yeah, so I think you can... The video of this isn't loading, but I think you can find the video of this conference out there if you want to watch it. You just why these rappers, like, speaking at Jesuit universities, you see that they're puppets, and that's why they don't speak out. They don't tell any truth. You'll never hear Talib Kweli explaining how the Jesuits were behind 9/11. How, like, the director of the CIA, George Tenet, went to Jesuit Georgetown University, the same school you're speaking at. Fucking sell out. But yeah, but this is a picture of Talib Kweli right here. And he's race baiting on his Instagram quite a bit right now. Like, just look at his Instagram, you see what I mean? Yeah, but Talib spoke at Georgetown in 2014, and recently Nas spoke at Georgetown University, another fake conscious rapper. Here you go, Nas again. Nas spoke with Michael Eric Dyson in 2014. Right here, you can watch this video here. It's 52 minutes. You know, Nas has lyric. Nas is a Freemason as well. He even raps. Like, he says it in his raps. In his song "Be a Nigger Too," he says that he's a Freemason. But yeah, Nas spoke at Georgetown University. This was hilarious right here. This song by Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a huge puppet. Rick Ross, it's not even his real name. He was a former prison guard. And, like, Rick Ross was the name of, like, a Los Angeles gangster that Rick Ross, the rapper, like, took. Like, he's a complete fake. But he did this song here called Georgetown. Or it's the song's Fat Trell. But you see here that the song is, like, Georgetown is, like, the name, and the album cover is Georgetown. And you see how, like, I'll show you the actual mascot for the Jesuit Georgetown University is a bulldog. That, like, you see here, like, Rick Ross is putting on the mascot of the Jesuit school, and you see the cross, like, right here. Like, you just familiar, like, the Catholic Church, you know. Can't make that up. But yeah, this is the Georgetown. You see, Jack the Bulldog is the Georgetown University mascot, and I thought that's hilarious that Rick Ross did a song with the Jesuit mascot in the album cover, like the album or the song art. Rick Ross also has a song with Jay-Z called Freemason, and I'll show you here. Jay-Z has Jay-Z is like probably the biggest puppet in hip hop, like him, Beyonce, and Drake. I wonder if Drake spoken at Georgetown. Meek Mill, it'd be funny, like, cause the whole Drake Meek Mill, that whole like staged beef, like it was just like mind control. Like ultimately. I'm gonna see if anyone's in the yeah, look at this though. So there's actually like a course that's being done on Jay-Z at Georgetown, like a sociology course. Recommend yeah, I've watched this video is really entertaining right here. Michael Eric Dyson's like running the course. Okay, look at this. Georgetown Jesuit Georgetown, and guys, this is the same Jesuit Georgetown University that's like published a newspaper in 2016 openly calling for population engineering and openly calling to reduce the fertility rates globally. I did a video on that, but it was published in 2016 by the Georgetown Philosophy Department. Yeah, look at this. Hoyas and Hova. Georgetown sociology course focuses on rap star Jay-Z. I wonder why like hip hop is completely silent on like this Jesuit insurgency that's taking place all around us. We have the United States has a Jesuit trained president, Donald Trump. Current head of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, Jesuit trained at Georgetown. The current United States Trade Representative, Jesuit trained at Georgetown. That being Robert Lighthizer. The current United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristen Nielsen, Jesuit educated at Georgetown. Donald Trump's current Chief of Staff, John F. Kelly, Jesuit educated at Georgetown. The current head of the United States budget and the current head of the United States Administration of the Budget and Office Management, Mick Mulvaney, Jesuit educated at Georgetown. So like, I wonder why like these rappers are quiet on the Jesuit insurgency. If you see here, there's going to be a sociology course. The code is even Soci124. It's a first-year course. The sociology of hip-hop, urban theodicy of Jay-Z. I bet Jay-Z didn't even write most of his lyrics, like real shit. And he's getting a course on them. At Georgetown. That's funny. Let me see if anyone's in the comments. This is the guy, though, that I'll show you the guy who founded Atlantic Records while I'm loading up my phone here. It's just kind of like how a Jesuit priest, you know, actually like the actual Hollywood motion picture like code was drafted by a Jesuit priest, Daniel Aloysius Lord, and the head of the Motion Picture Association or the Production Code Administration, Joseph Ignatius Breen, like was Jesuit trained at the Jesuit St. Joseph's University and had a Jesuit priest as a brother. But here's Amit Utegren right here. You see here, he's the best known as he's the founder of Atlantic Records. You can read an article on like AtlanticRecords.com saying Amit Utegren is the founder. You see Amit Utegren right here, founder of Atlantic Records. Okay. Sexual assault allegations. 2017, Dorothea Calvello alleged Utegren tried to remove her underwear and groped her shirt at a public event in 1987. Interesting. But you see here, Utegren. Where did he go to school? Oh, he went to. He took medieval philosophy at Georgetown. Okay. So you have the founder of Atlantic Records, currently went to Jesuit Georgetown University. Let's just see like the current who's on the Atlantic Records. It's a pretty big list. Wiz Khalifa, all like the mindless garbage on the radio. Wiz Khalifa, Cardi B, Ty Dolla $ign, Kodak Black, Meek Mill, who's spoken at Georgetown, Lil Uzi Vert, Migos. Wonder if let's see if. Georgetown University did a Drake Nice for What tribute. That's funny. I don't think Drake has. Oh, he rapped at Capital One Arena, which is owned by what's this guy's name here? Ted. Yeah, that's funny. Not a direct connection to Drake, but the guy who owns the Capital One Arena. Ted Leonis, he also owns the Washington Capitals. He owns the Washington Wizards as well. You see here, Ted Leonis went to Jesuit Georgetown University. Okay, right there. Let me just, yeah, so you see all these fake conscious rappers are speaking at Georgetown, and they're puppets for the Jesuits. There's only been like one rap song like that I've ever seen that was called The Jesuits, and it was made by Mac Miller, and it didn't really have any content about the Jesuits compared to how good a conceptual song could have been about the Jesuits if you actually like knew the history type of thing. But yeah, let me see who's in the chat here. Yeah, Jesuit celebrity go hand in hand. Absolutely. Actually, have you seen the picture of let me see here, Lionel Richie.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this Lionel Richie met with the Jesuit president of Boston College. Where was that photo? Let me try to find that for you.
Boston College, of course, being a Jesuit university.
Yeah, here it is here. Yeah, so Lionel Richie's still even like a puppet to this day. Here is Lionel Richie with Donald Moen, S.J., president of Boston College.
One of the 28
and like, it's all over the place. Like, I'll show you this Jesuit right here. I found this Jesuit was like in a Jesuit. Daniel A. Lord actually drafted. Like Daniel A. Lord S.J. actually drafted the production code. I wrote a long article post on it on my blog, the subreddit Jesuit World Order. Type in r/Jesuit World Order. You see here, the Reverend Thomas B. Birmingham S.J. was actually like involved in the making of the Exorcist movie. He worked as a technical advisor and he acted in the movie. See here, Exorcist. I've covered in previous videos William Peter Blatty, who wrote the Exorcist books and like directed the movies. Was educated by the Jesuits at Georgetown and Brooklyn Prep, and said that like the time he spent at Jesuit Georgetown University was like the best time of his life because he never felt so at home. Yeah, all that trash.
He never felt so at home because he was at the devil's playground. Continue, Eric. Good research, man.
Yeah, and you see here, the Jesuit Thomas Birmingham taught William Blatty at the Jesuit Brooklyn Prep in the mid-40s. And worked at the same time at Georgetown while Blatty was attending. Okay, but you see here, and even in the Exorcist book, that you see at the very end of the book, like the Jesuit trained Thomas Blatty thanks the Jesuit Reverend Thomas Birmingham at the end of the book. You see, I just thought that was interesting. For the movie The Exorcist, Thomas B. Birmingham S.J. along with Jesuit fathers John Nicola and William O'Malley S.J. all Jesuits served as technical advisors. And the Georgetown University was referenced in the movie The Exorcist in the fiction, which is you see here. In addition, Birmingham and Jesuits Thomas Birmingham S.J. and William O'Malley S.J. had minor acting roles in the film, with Birmingham portraying the character Tom, the president of Georgetown University.
This is a prime example of ratio studiorum, entertaining, and getting the people with their camera stuff, with their theater, with their entertainment they do all the time. Eric has really done his research on this little video here. Let's continue.
Oh, and actually, like Georgetown, like another funny kind of fiction, like celebrity play on Georgetown is like in the show Archer. The secret agent Archer, who founds like the Secret Service ISIS, like International Secret Intelligence Service. Like if there is an International Secret Intelligence Service, it's the Jesuits. But it's found Archer goes to the Georgetown University in season 2. Are Jesuits devout Catholics? No, they're kind of, the Jesuits are like a very rogue element. Like in the past, they won't hesitate to persecute Catholics to further their own ends, but yeah, for at least the Jesuits and the Pope as the image of the infallible pontiff do go hand in hand. Like the Jesuits are very feudalistic. But yeah, I don't want to get too off topic with The Exorcist there. You see, like, the Jesuits and Hollywood go hand in hand. Rap music is ultimately Hollywood. It's entertainment. And you see these rappers are speaking at Georgetown. Talib Kweli, Nas, Jay-Z, and Meek Mill. You know, four of like some of the biggest names in rap right now are speaking at Georgetown. And even like Rick Ross did the song called Georgetown with the mascot of the Jesuit University in the background. But you see, I just wanted to point that out. I thought it was interesting. I don't see like if you try to look at like an analysis of like the music industry and hip hop, it's all just filled with shills on the internet. So I just wanted to put something out there. But that's all for this one, YouTube. Peace and love. Oh, actually with FEMA. Yeah, honestly, I can't think of I can't think of an open FEMA director right now that I can think of that's controlled by the Jesuits. I can tell you, like, the Defense Intelligence Agency will be working with FEMA. The founding director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Francis Joseph Carroll, was trained by the Jesuits at Loyola Chicago and was.
Did you hear that name? Francis Carroll? And he is probably a descendant from that same John Carroll that I spoke of in the beginning. I think Eric is making the point himself here.
He's going to become a Catholic priest at the St. Mary's Seminary in Chicago. And I think Francis Joseph Carroll is actually a descendant of the three Carrolls who actually like played a pivotal part in founding America.
Daniel, Charles, and John Carroll. Those three I have been speaking about abundantly in my early broadcast, An Hour of the Truth, and of course they are also mentioned in the book Rulers of Evil, which I read on my channel. Check out those videos. Listen, all these research, all these things, it all fits in together. And when you see it from different angles, and here this video from Brother Eric, the little pieces you put together here and there, all of a sudden they make a picture. And then you go up and put a little bit distance between you and the picture, and then you can see the whole picture.
And the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, is very close with FEMA, very interrelated government agencies. And the current head of the DHS, Kristen Nielsen, went to Jesuit Georgetown. The Department of Homeland Security, the guy who led the White House transition team to creating the Department of Homeland Security, John C. Gannon, is a current professor at Georgetown. And John C. Gannon was trained by the Jesuits at Holy Cross and was a Jesuit volunteer corps. Oh, well, yeah, 9/11. Actually, you know, the deputy director of the CIA during 9/11, John Brennan, trained by the Jesuits at Fordham. The director of the CIA, George Tenet, trained by the Jesuits at Georgetown. You had the head of Saudi Arabia's intelligence agency, Prince Al Taruki. Prince Al Taruki Farad. If I'm pronouncing that right. The head of Saudi's intelligence agency, who retired 10 days before 9/11, was trained by the Jesuits at Georgetown when he was a classmate of Bill Clinton. You had the first reporter on that scene of 9/11 was Mika Brzezinski on MSNBC, who was trained by the Jesuits at Georgetown. Even like the president of Georgetown at the time, John de Goya, was a Knight of Malta, which which is interesting. The president of JINSA, Jewish Institute of National Security in America, David P. Steinem, went to Jesuit Georgetown, and JINSA was working hand in hand with the Project for a New American Century post 9/11 to launch the war in Iraq.
You remember that paper they put out where they stated that to reach their goals they would need another Pearl Harbor?
Lots of connections with Jesuits in Georgetown. Jesuits, Georgetown, and 9/11 intrigue. Tons of connections there. But I'm going to end the video here, guys. Peace and love, and Nam Nas. Oh, actually, the last part, over history, like the Jesuits have probably been kicked out of like 50 different countries. You know, like just for one instance, like when they were banned in Venice in 1616, like the reason they were banned was because a copy of the Jesuit constitutions was made public. It was actually read out loud at the Venetian Congress, and like the people were so appalled at the absolute filth of Jesuit morality that like they booted the Jesuits out of Venice. But yeah.
Yeah, and that brings this video to an end. And a country where the Jesuits have never been thrown out of is the United States of America. How is that? Because they founded it. Yeah, and that's why they were never ever thrown out. Listen, In the description box of this video I will provide you some links. I will also provide the original link to the original video of the video that you just saw from Brother Eric 777. The video that he did, that I put in here, that was a hangout he did, so that's why you don't see, because he reacts to people in the chat, answering their questions and going divert from the subject that he wanted to do on this hip-hop guys. And he diverted from the subject when he was addressed in the chat box of the live hangout that he did here. Anyway, I think you got the gist of why the Jesuit Georgetown University in the United States of America is the playground of the devil in all his forms. Entertainment, in the kind of music and the kind of acting, in politics and economics. I think you got the message. I hope you got the message. And that's why for the end I'm going to play another little video for you. And with that we are going to leave it for today in the 60-second part of Hour of the Truth. It's a little bit longer than an hour, but I think these videos are very important to watch. And of course you can always pause the video or mark it and then come back later and watch it twice if you don't have an attention span of a little bit more than an hour. But now watch this, because now we're gonna see the Georgetown connection, and by that the Jesuit connection, the Knights of Malta connection to 9/11. Have a look at this. Did you see that? Have another look. Have another look. We are speaking of that PNAC paper, 1999. The process of transformation, even if it brings revolutionary change, and what did 9/11 bring to your country, is likely to be a long one, absent some catastrophic and catalyzing event, like a new Pearl Harbor. Project for the new American century. And the American century, according to, as I told you, this bishop from 1903 in the Chicago Tribune, when the United States of America ruled the world, the Roman Catholic Church will rule the world. The Roman Catholic Church will have her wound more and more and more healed. That's what's it all about. The United States of America, the second beast of Revelation chapter 13, is nothing else but the end to bring back the power to the Pope as it was in the time before the Reformation. If you want to know how they felt in the time of 1512, 1513, read on it. The Roman Catholic Church boasted that there was no resistance in the world anymore. And then came the Reformation. And to annihilate the Reformation, and to annihilate Bible-believing Christians, fundamentalists in the Bible, like me, like many of these people who watch this video, well, turn back to the very first video of this movie, and then you will see, of this movie, of this video, and then you will see what they are doing with that. Remember, Georgetown University, these fundamentalists, these extremists, even Christians, have to be eliminated. That's what it's all about. There's an Inquisition coming to the United States of America, and therefore you need to listen to Inquisition Update, Tom Fress, on First Amendment Radio, or on one of my YouTube channels, or on the YouTube channel of First Amendment Radio on YouTube. And understand that there is an Inquisition to the United States of America and the likes the world has never seen before. And they used this catalyzing event, 9/11, 2001, as a new Pearl Harbor to push their politics. But let's continue in this video. Remember, Eric spoke of him a few minutes ago. Yeah, Turkey Al-Faisal. That's him. Condoleezza Rice. Again, something Eric just spoke about a few minutes ago. And now you see who controls Islam. The Roman Catholic Church and their military arm, the Order of the Jesuits, the Company of Jesus. Some PNEC members. Donald Rumsfeld, his name is written wrong, but it's Rumsfeld. You know him. Paul Wolfowitz, who then became the CEO of the World Bank. Dick Cheney, of course, one of the other neocons. Who is the head of JINSA? David P. Steinman. Maybe a Jew, but trained by Jesuits at Georgetown University. And you don't get into that position if you don't pay your allegiance to the Pope of Rome. Not only trained by Jesuits, but also a Knight of Malta, George J. Tenet, former director of the CIA, the Catholics in Action. Yeah. Now we get a link to Germany, Reinhard Gehlen. He built up the Mossad after the Second World War. Yeah, James Quigley, not Carol Quigley as I said. This is the bishop that I meant earlier. James Quigley, not Carol Quigley. Carol Quigley was the professor at Jesuit University and the mentor of Bill Clinton. It's James Quigley. I just mixed up the first name. I stand corrected. I hope you understood that right. That was an open admission that Revelation chapter 17 verse 2 is absolutely correct, what you've just read in this video. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Just go back here a little bit into this video. This is what it says here. Why the Pope is the ruler of the world. All the emperors, all the kings, all the princes, all the presidents of the world are as these altar boys of mine. Yeah? This is standard Roman Catholic canon law. This is what Jesus Christ in Revelation revealed to us and to John in the first place some 2,000 years ago. The Bible is correct, and therefore you have to have the correct Bible, the King James Version, by the way. Trump, Putin, Netanyahu, all with the Pope. Do you now don't understand that this is just a stage? All the world is a stage. That's what they are showing you. And they are laughing at you. Cardinal Dolan, President-to-be Trump at that time, and Hillary Clinton. Yeah, that's it, my dear brethren. That is Jesuit Georgetown University, the devil's playground in the United States of America, one of the 28 Jesuit universities in that nation, and 50 high schools, at least, and growing, and all over the world. And what can you do about it? Turn to Christ and to His Word, the 1611 authorized version of the King James Bible. Read the Bible, study the Bible, and see the solutions are given there. It is not to stock up ammunition, weapons, food, drink, and all that stuff. No, you have to arm yourself with the whole armor of God. And where is that to be found? The whole armor of God you can read in the book of Ephesians. Now let me just get to my King James Bible, but we can also do this here on the online Bible. It's maybe even more interesting. When we go to the online, then you can read along with me. We go to the New Testament, and why is this not going down here? We go to Ephesians chapter 6, and then we read verse 10 through 18. And there you will have your answer. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherein ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. Those are the weapons that we should put on. Those are the weapons that we have to fight here in this world with, against the wickedness, against the principalities, the powers, the rulers of darkness of this world, the spiritual wickedness that we fight here. Those are the weapons that we have to pick up. 7 in number, if you counted along when I was reading. And that is the whole armor of God. And that is to be found in the 1611 King James Bible. So, please, read your Bible. Maranatha.